To London now, where Commonwealth leaders are gathered ahead of the heads of government meeting due to begin on Thursday. British Prime Minister Theresa May has been in talks with several leaders ahead of the meeting. Today, leaders, the private sector and non-governmental organizations are discussing malaria. They are due to announce their commitment to halve the number of malarial cases globally in the next 5 years. The World Health Organization estimates that could save 650,000 lives a year. Let's get you more now on those meetings. I'm joined live from London by CGTN's Kate Parkinson. Kate, what's the latest on this summit and the arrivals of the leaders?
Well, Commonwealth leaders have been arriving in London over the past few days ahead of the summit, which formally starts tomorrow. But the leaders have been trickling in early because on the sidelines across London this week, there have been various discussion forums tackling some of the world's major issues. As you mentioned, there's one today discussing malaria. And on the sidelines of these meetings and ahead of the summit, the British Prime Minister Theresa May has held a series of bilateral meetings. Yesterday, she met with South Africa's president and pledged 50 million of new UK funding to help improve South Africa's business environment and make it more attractive to investors. And on Monday, she met with the Nigerian president, and in that meeting, they discussed regional security and cooperation in tackling the threat of Boko Haram and the Islamic State in West Africa.
Well, Kate, today, though, the focus is on malaria. There's lots on the table, but they're focusing on malaria, which remains Africa's biggest killer, and a commitment to halving the number of cases worldwide. That is a massive undertaking. So what do we know about that?
Well, yes, this summit, this meeting rather taking place today, very much focusing on malaria. Commonwealth leaders are being urged to make this historic commitment to halve the number of malaria cases by 2023. Commonwealth countries account for 60% of malaria cases, so this is a huge issue for Commonwealth leaders. And certainly there is a big need for more investment in this. The message of today's meeting, very much the world cannot be complacent about malaria. It's still a huge killer, half a million people dying from malaria every year, many of them children and babies. And there is a big need for new research and innovation because while enormous progress has been made in reducing the number of malaria cases and deaths in the past 2 decades, in some cases malaria is once again on the rise as mosquitoes become resistant to various methods of treatment. So there is a big push for more money coming in, and ahead of this meeting we saw philanthropists, business leaders and ministers from both donor countries and malaria affected countries pledging £2.7 billion to really try and drive new research and innovation into malaria treatment.
Well, Kate, and looking broadly, though, at the Heads of State Summit there, the theme of the summit is towards a common future. So to what extent, though, will Britain be relying on the Commonwealth post-Brexit?
Well, that's a good question, and it's certainly a matter of debate depending on which side of the Brexit argument you look. Certainly for the Brexiteers, the people who were pro and still are pro-Brexit here in the UK, they've very much been pushing the British government to really focus on the Commonwealth for new trade opportunities as it looks to carve out new deals as it prepares to leave the European single market. They say that it's the logical step for the UK to take. Of course, Britain has a long history with the Commonwealth countries and has previous experience in trading with them, and certainly for the Brexiteers it offers a great opportunity. But on the other side of the debate, sceptics are saying the Commonwealth, which isn't an official trading bloc unlike the European Union, cannot simply replace the EU as the UK's largest trading partner. The Commonwealth currently accounts for a very small fraction of British trade exports compared to the European Union, and some are questioning how willing Commonwealth countries will be to embrace the UK after all these years. The UK rather turned its back on its former colonies when it joined the European trading pact back in the 1970s, and really some people are questioning whether Commonwealth countries will be welcoming the UK back with open arms.
All right, Kate Parkinson joining us there from London at the Heads of State Commonwealth Summit.